first session of design thinking with emphasis on COVID-19. In this session, we will see what is design thinking, how this COVID-19 has become pandemic, and why we need to apply this design thinking to this COVID-19. Let's go in. Yes. What is design thinking? Design thinking is a process of creative problem solving for humans. Problem solving for humans. That means this design thinking is a human centered or human centric approach. That means we are trying to create the solutions for the problems being faced by the human beings. In a short way, we can also say that this design thinking is a route map for problem to the solution for being created for the human beings. Yes, this design thinking is an iterative process and it is having four important essential steps. If you look at in literature, you can find in many ways that this design thinking is a five-step process like this, like empathy, define, ideate, prototype, and test. But here I am considering all these five steps into four different steps, like first one is empathy, second one is analyze, third one is solve, and fourth one is test. That means here I am culminating these two steps like ideate and prototype into the third step, solve. The reason behind this is there is a great consensus by many of the design thinkers that these four important steps of design thinking are in agreement with the four noble truths given in ancient days. Now let us see what these four steps are in detail. First one, empathy. What it means. Empathy is the very important step in the design thinking process. That means we are looking about the problem in someone else's perspective who does require a solution. That means whatever we try to think of, you should be in the lines of a person who is really facing the problem. That is the first step, empathy. Second one, analyze. After getting the relevant information, once you empathize from the perspective of a human being who does require the solution, we will be looking at the clear analysis of this problem and then we try to define the actual problem. That is what analysis. And coming for the third stage, solve. Here, based on the knowledge we gain from the first two stages like empathy and analyze, we generate ideas and we try to think out of the box and we consolidate with all necessary brainstormings with our teammates and of course other necessitated persons to provide an innovative solution and to try to develop a prototype. And next one is the test. Here what we are going to do is whatever we try to develop a service or a product as a solution, we will test with the target persons in sample. We take their feedback and if necessary any modifications we need to do, we will incorporate. Then we will go back to our solve stage and rebuild for best satisfaction of the solution to the human beings. That means, as I already told you, it is an iterative process. We can go for n number of times to any of these four steps. Only thing is we need to get an effective solution. And this is the brief descriptive of our steps involved in this design thinking. And then we will be go in detail once we just find out our problem. Yes, now let us look at our problem, COVID-19 pandemic. It is at present the global issue. COVID-19, coronavirus disease 2019, it is an infectious disease caused by a new kind of virus, corona. This is the typical structure and the simple structure of coronavirus species, having its envelope, this genetic material present, and the protein spikes here. And this is the species which is expected to enter the human body via the mouth, nose, ear, and so on. It spreads from an infected person when they cough, sneeze, and also when a person touches the surface of virus where it presents. Once it enters the body, the protein of the virus, what we have shown here, it touch in our cells present in the body. Then our human cells replicate this virus and so problem aggravates. It spreads very easily from one person to another person. And if you look at this kind of the symptoms of this COVID, these are all almost very common, like our seasonal flu, like the infected persons may suffer from cough, cold, fever, headache, body pains. But if the influence of this virus is more, that means infection is more, it will be so tedious problem that they'll be facing very severe problems, like they'll be suffering from breathing and sometimes heart attack, kidney failure, and so on. Here, if you have to consider this, it spreads more faster when compared to flu, and it is estimated that one infected person will have an influence on at least 2 to 3% for passing of this kind of virus. This is more deadly than flu. That is the reason World Health Organization declared COVID-19 outbreak is a pandemic. Yes, if you look at here the data, this is the global scenario. And as of 29th March, this was the scenario of this COVID-19. That is the reason we are calling it as a pandemic. All these brown dotted countries are infected countries because of this coronavirus. So as of 29th March, if you look at this data, around 202 countries are being facing this particular problem, coronavirus. And as of 1st April, 203 countries are in the list where this COVID-19 is having its more influence. So total persons attack is more than 9 lakhs and more than 45,000 persons passed away because of this COVID-19. So that is how we say that this COVID-19 is a pandemic. Yes, now we came to know what is design thinking, and we also identified what is our problem. So now let us come for our target. So this is our identified problem, like COVID-19 pandemic. Now we need to provide a solution, or we need to work for this particular desired solution. Our desired solution is the safe and healthy of our human beings. So we need to get protection from this COVID-19. So for this, we need to apply our design thinking principles, like whatever the steps we involve, like empathy, analyze, solve, and test. That is what we have a route map. We need to design a route map to get our desired solution. So here we are telling that this is the desired solution, and our desired solution is for safe and healthy. And safe and healthy for who? Is it? Yes, these are the human beings attacked by this coronavirus. Anything else? Anybody else would you require to give a solution for this? Yes, I think you are right. And in case it is necessitated, you can pause this video and you can think of. So I tell you three important cases here where we do need to create the solution. Our target persons are categorized into three ways: category A, category B, category C. The first one is the human beings who are attacked by this coronavirus, who are very, very important to save their lives because they are really suffering because of this virus. And the next one is the persons who are in contact with these corona attacked persons, like they may be their family members, maybe their neighbors, or knowingly or unknowingly, there may be some persons who are in touch with this kind of corona attacked persons. So I listed them as B. And the second one is who are really providing excellent services to protect the persons from corona A. Like here, if you can see, there are so many persons, as you're already aware, doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, sanitation staff, police force, they are very, very working. And apart from that, we can also consider some other persons like the electricity people, fire safety people, revenue staff. They are also working to provide their services without any kind of obstacles. But here I am not considering those people. Here I am considering these people into category of C, those who are really having a direct touch or direct contact or direct influence by this kind of corona attacked persons, like the doctors, the nurses, paramedical staff, and then up to some extent the police force. Yeah, this is the categorization of A, B, C, where we need to look at our target persons to whom in fact we need to provide the solution. Dear viewers, now I hope you understood the concept of this course. I request you to share your thoughts so that I will try to incorporate in this course. Do not miss to look at the announcements in this course, and we will discuss the entire course in detail in the coming sessions. Give your likes, give your comments, and do subscribe. Be safe and happy learning. Bye.